no matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
This nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave. Elmer Davis. The United States Department of Veterans Affairs estimates that 131,000 veterans are homeless on any given night, and approximately twice that many experience homelessness over the course of a year. In 2010, the state of Michigan ranked 5th in national homelessness polls and 1st in the region. The number of homeless citizens in the city of Detroit reached close to 20,000. 40% of Detroit's homeless population is comprised of United States military veterans. Piquette Square is the largest of 3 veterans facilities in the country. It is located in the city of Detroit. The goal of Piquette Square is to help homeless veterans rebuild their lives. Support services at Piquette include case management, benefit assistance, job training, self-improvement workshops, healthy lifestyle programs, recreation, and social opportunities.
The government has opened up different programs for the veterans to get into. You know, they take you off the streets if you're homeless. You don't have to go around and worry about, okay, well, I'm homeless. You know, I don't have any place to go or a shelter to go to. They have very good, interesting programs you can get into, like the Veterans Foundation over on Park Street. I ended up going there because I was homeless. See, I'm a recovering alcoholic, first of all. Let me get to this. You know, and during my time of drinking alcohol, it's when I lost everything. When I became homeless, I didn't have a choice but to go back and live on the streets. I lived under the viaduct on 8 Mile, you know, under the bridge. And every morning I would go, you know, and I had to bring up all my junk, and, you know, I had a sleeping bag. Well, you know, technically, by being in the service, you learn how to survive, no matter what. I hit rock bottom. First of all, I don't know whether you know what rock bottom really means. When you hit the bottom, that means you hit the very bottom. There's no place else, no further down you can go is to the bottom. You have to come up. Well, I believe that Piquette Square is going to do a lot for the veterans, especially because they have the facility to help you get yourself back motivated and get yourself in order. Because you have your counselors here, which are really guidance, you know, and you have the housing and the living facility here, which is just like normal living now. It's not transitional living.
No veteran in the world deserves to sleep on the ground of the country that they went across the water to save. Nobody. And we just deserve it. This is a paradise that we fought for as serving our country.
The fact that they're sleeping on the ground or in abandoned buildings, where they were sleeping on the ground in Vietnam, or Iraq or Afghanistan. They were defending our country. And the fact now that they come back to our country and are sleeping on the ground in an abandoned building, that's unconscionable. You know, so many come back. When they left, many of them were not working before they left, okay? And they went off to serve our country because they started off young, right out of school and whatever. And they went off and they worked so hard for our country, put their lives on the line for our country. And now that they come back and that we're not embracing them, giving them every opportunity for a job, for housing, to get their life back together, I'm sorry, country, it's our obligation. We've got to step up, and this is an opportunity to do so.
You meet a soldier and you realize how much they dedicate to this country and how focused they are on accomplishing their mission. They deserve that respect. And so when we heard some of the statistics, I think there are something like 19,000 homeless folks here in the city of Detroit, and almost a third of those folks are veterans. When we heard that number, that's just a staggering number. And so that's what kind of wakes you up every morning when you're able to go to a great place like Quicken Loans and enjoy a great job and work with great people, and you realize that there are folks out there that are struggling. It's just part of your responsibility, I think, part of your duty to step up and help them. And so it's those type of numbers, and you see them from time to time here, and there's a better way to help them, and I think an opportunity like this with Piquette Square is the right way to help them.
Obviously, there's money that needs to be raised and services that need to be done, and perhaps if the Detroit Club can be used as a showcase for that, that's all to the good. We are going to have a problem having wound down the Iraq War to figure out what to do with the servicemen that are going to be laid off.
The solution to ending homelessness is not to build more shelters, which provide temporary places to stay. The men, women, and children who stay in shelters are still homeless when they wake up each day. The solution to chronic homelessness is permanent supportive housing with services.
Really, the heart of this is a beautiful and safe and well-managed apartment building for 150 veterans and spouses, men and women, with several wings that are for folks that have physical disabilities and need accommodations in their units. So it's been tremendously successful in transitioning the men and women from homelessness and into their own apartment where they live. These are their apartments. They all pay rent, some rent. Many of the veterans are working. We've got about a fifth of the veterans that are here now are working, and that's huge. When you're homeless, it's almost impossible. It's really difficult to work. So, we want every veteran, and there's probably over half of the veterans here whose goal is to work, and so that's what we aspire to.
Piquette Square is not a standalone effort. Southwest Solutions is part of the Homeless Action Network of Detroit, HAND, which has a 10-year plan to end homelessness in Detroit.
Think about that what we're doing here has been able to touch other people, and that they have that passion to want to reach out and help Southwest Solutions continue to expand the services at Piquette Square. It's very dear to me. It tells me that, especially now, with what our country is going through and with the young men and women returning home, and a lot of them are coming back with illnesses, and their family members are not going to know how to deal with it. Some of them will be homeless. And to know that we have people out here in our communities that care enough to want to join Southwest Solutions and help us support ending homelessness for veterans means a lot to me as an individual, as well as to Southwest Solutions as a business.
There are 3 homeless facilities such as this throughout the country, and we have the largest facility located right here in the city of Detroit on Piquette and Brush. They actually have 150 long-term apartments, and on the same facility, they have an emergency shelter. And while doing our tour, we found out that on an average, a daily average, they receive approximately 300 applications, wow, for their emergency shelter. And this is for veterans and in many cases their families.
Piquette Square for Veterans is a model around the country. So here in their backyard, the sponsors have an opportunity to assist and provide a better life to help the veteran get back on their feet. It's an opportunity sponsors are really jumping at.
Mr. Gilbert and our leadership team and close to 5,000 team members, I've never seen a group that really steps up and cares and gives more than the folks here at Quicken Loans. And we're very proud of that. And Dan himself, when looking at the city of Detroit, we have really focused on veterans, and he's looking for ways that we can truly help out. And so this was a great opportunity to help some of the homeless vets, to help Piquette Square and really get things going, to provide a safe place for them to live and get the help that they need. So he was very excited to be involved with this.
Piquette represents an historic commitment to homeless veterans and believe that the success of veterans at Piquette Square will inspire a host of future efforts to help address homelessness.
We absolutely have to look out for those people who risk their lives to protect us as a nation. But just to dive deeper into Detroit Panache, the event, I mean, on the surface, it's an exquisite event that's bringing together, you know, the city's best and brightest at a great venue. But more than that, Detroit Panache is all about collaboration at its core. I mean, just look at how Thea and I have come together to try to put this thing on, but we really wanted to send a message out to the city and the region that we can have people in politics, in business, all throughout the city's core to come together for a great cause and pull together some great people.
I do enjoy it. It's helped me a lot. I've been here almost a year, and I've been having employment. It's not bad. I mean, but like everybody else, you're just looking for work, and they help you for schooling, and they get you places like Southwest Solutions, other programs. There's different areas they can take you. They help you out a lot.
Of course, I ended up homeless. When I did move back into the shelter here, I, of course, now could actually have 3 full meals, a warm place to sleep. When up and above that, you get the companionship of the fellow vets that actually help you morally and spiritually to make yourself better. So it's a brotherhood kind of thing that happens there.
The Veterans Administration, Tammy Duckworth, who was out at our opening, said about 1 in 6 of every homeless person is a veteran. So there's a real belief that in Detroit, plus or minus, there's around 3,000 homeless veterans. I'm sorry, we can't stop until every one of them is housed, is in employment, is back in the education where they want to enter it. That's our obligation as a society.
Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals. And he said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty.
For the better part of a decade, our men and women in uniform have endured tour after tour in distant and dangerous places. Many have risked their lives. Many have given their lives. And as a grateful nation, humbled by their service, we can never honor these American heroes or their families enough.